Hi guys and welcome to this live stream of Money Control. I'm Karunya Rao and it is that time of the year when we talk about Diwali picks, Samvat ideas, so on and so forth, and that's exactly what we're here for today. Joining me in conversation is Madhu Chanda De. She's the research head at Moneycontrol Pro. Madhu, thank you so much for coming down to the studios today. You guys also, like several other brokerages, have done a lot of digging, a lot of hard work and come out with 9 absolute gems for Samvat 2079. Before we tell our viewers what these stocks are all about and how you've done it, I want to take stock of how your picks have done from last year, because I'm sure people also would like to know how the historic trend has been as far as your picks and your research is concerned. So tell us a little bit about the performance.
Yeah, actually, historically, they have been great. I mean, last year it was a blockbuster show. But to be honest, this year it wasn't a blockbuster, although on a portfolio basis, we have outperformed the Nifty by 4-5%. And there were 4-5 picks which were outstanding. But as you know, last year and this year, a lot has changed in the market. When we constructed the portfolio, and let me tell the viewers and investors that this is a buy and hold portfolio. So we didn't do any mid-year course correction when the war started and the global scenario turned so much different. But albeit all the challenges, the portfolio has done well, but that provides a good learning for us how to crystal gaze in a very, very difficult market environment like this.
Any stellar performers that you want to highlight?
Yes, Vesuvius India was one of the stars, Apex Frozen Food was one of the stars, Titan, etc. and there were few more.
And they've all done well despite all the turbulence.
Yes, and being a buy and hold, I mean, there was no change which was done in the middle of the year because the macro turned almost 180 degrees in the course of the year, and so a lot of things which were looking extremely promising last October, November,
look at where they are now.
Look at where they are now, and that is because of the risk aversion, which was not kind of there last year.
So when you guys were doing your laying the groundwork for this year's Samvat portfolio, what did you do differently? Because like you said, a lot of unprecedented scenarios have played out in front of us last several months. So what have you done differently and what has been the methodology this time around?
Yeah, this year, when we look at the next year, which is the period from now, which is October 2022 to say October, November 23, a lot can change in the world. I mean, the war is still going on. There is an unprecedented central bank action of rate hike and a recession looks pretty certain. So we are having multiple challenges, but one bright spot that we see amid all the challenges is India. So with the correction in commodity prices and the festive season and the overall demand revival post-COVID has been quite good. So our focus was first on domestic linked businesses. So although we have not seen so much of an earnings pressure in all export led businesses, let us take IT for example. The results so far have been okay, have been pretty good, I would say, much ahead of expectations. But that doesn't mean that it will continue to perform should there be a deep global recession. So we steered clear of the export-oriented sectors, although the rupee makes you feel that export-oriented sectors
that's
should
a typical way of
thinking,
thinking,
that's a conventional way of thinking about it. But we felt that the demand could take over any other tailwinds, so we steered clear of export-oriented sectors. But having said that, we had two objectives. One is to look at strong domestic focused businesses, and second to focus at stocks which are available at deep value, because this is also a time to pick up businesses which are at historic low valuation, whether they are catering to exports or domestic. When the valuation is so attractive, it merits attention. So these were the twin thought process overall behind
And
the
I
portfolio
know,
construction.
come what may, you will not unveil the names to us today. Of course, this is all behind the paywall, and it will be accessible to exclusively to all the members of MC Pro.
Yeah, I mean, get a membership of MC
Exactly,
Pro.
it's
I mean,
quite, it's quite
there,
reasonable.
it's
Yeah.
there. We have released it. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but are you, you know, I want to circle back to what you were saying about IT and export-oriented companies. Are you dropping a hint that there may or may not be an IT name this time around?
See, there is a technology company that we have
Okay.
included, but that technology company is into mapping and geospatial.
Okay.
So that's a domestic focused company, and let me be very candid about it. That's our favorite from the new tech businesses
okay.
that have got listed in the last 2 years. Most of them are businesses which got listed at fancy valuation, not so robust business model. This is one with a very, very robust business model, strong moats, and they enjoy so much of entry barrier in the business that yes, the valuations are not cheap, but we do see a growth highway ahead.
Okay, great. What other stocks or rather sectors, are you betting on this time around for the, this somewhat to the next one? Because yes, domestic themed, of course, is something that, a lot of market mavericks, a lot of market watchers, they've all been talking to us about. But other than that, if one wants to look sector specific, business specific, what kind of sectors are offering good growth potential even amid all the difficulties that the market is seeing?
Yeah. So the first sector that I would like to call out in the portfolio and in general is defense, something we have been very, very bullish about for a very long time. I think we have started pushing defense stocks right from the time of the, Ukraine-Russia war, because we feel that the geopolitics has changed. Each and every country is going to increase capex on defense, and in India, on the top of that, there is a strong agenda not to depend on overseas suppliers so much, and that gives a push to domestic manufacturing, and that's a good hedging strategy also. So a combination of these two makes indigenization a key theme to look at in defense. So one PSU defense stock which has done well for it's a very, very steady earnings growth story. So that's one stock which we have included in the portfolio. Other than that, most of them are somewhat linked to consumption, because consumption is a theme that is going to be kind of evergreen for India for many, many years to come.
Since you brought up defense, we've seen a good run up in defense stocks in the last few months. In terms of valuations or in terms of the pricing that they're now available at, a lot of people even on on our market lives also ask us if it's a good time to buy these stocks. You guys are still optimistic, not just about this particular company, but overall defense sector and defense sector plays.
See, there are two things. This question of valuation re-rating is the biggest challenge for any investor in the equity markets. Whenever valuation runs up, people tend to get jittery about it, and that is very, very normal. But I think the thing to focus on, and what we as a team and any equity investor or research analyst focuses on first, is the earnings trajectory. Suppose if the earnings trajectory was X percentage the last 5 years, and in the next 6 years you see it becoming 2x, naturally there will be a valuation re-rating, because on a PEG basis the stocks will still be quite reasonable. So I'm not saying that defense is overvalued, because not only the prospects are good, a lot of money is going to come to this sector, because many mutual funds are now talking about launching defense only kind of mutual funds. So you see the kind of liquidity that is going to chase these stocks, and there are only a handful of stocks in defense. So this kind of an elevated valuation is here to stay as long as the earnings don't disappoint. And many of them, especially on the PSU side, they are with solid balance sheet. They are net cash companies, very high dividend yield. So I don't see a reason to be very skeptical just because the stocks have run up. And you know, in this market, the beautiful thing about today's market is you always get too many bad days.
Yeah.
So have your shopping bag ready and pick them up on a bad day.
Yeah, that's a good idea. But is it only defense PSUs that you like, or any stocks feature in your Samvat portfolio from the PSU universe as well, whether it's banks or whether it's any other?
So in the Samvat portfolio, first of all, we have 9 stocks. So it's a pretty selected 9. We have about 300 stocks under our coverage. And we first drilled it down to 25 from 300, and then we worked on all the 25 and picked up 9. So it was pretty rigorous process. Sorry, in this portfolio we don't have any other PSU other than the one I talked about from the defense space, but we have a lot of interesting ideas from the consumption side, as I told you. One I can definitely call out is the largest airline, where we feel that, you know, the yield improvement is here to stay. And because, you know, in addition to the domestic traffic, the international side is also opening up, business travel is opening up. And this is one airline where, you know, they're very fuel efficient. They have a lot of fuel efficient aircrafts in their fleet. So now they're you know, benefiting from the tailwinds of a slightly softer crude, but even should crude move up, they are better positioned than peers, albeit the increased competition, because a lot of people are, you know, asking us what about the competition, because this competition hitting up. But we still feel that this is a very interesting play, and it is quasi consumption, because look at the way Indians are traveling these days. So yeah, that's one stock which I would like to call out. The other one, which is again thematically a very, very good pocket, but as you would now say that, you know, this sector has run up so much.
Are you talking about financials?
No, I'm talking about hotels.
Okay.
Complete re-rating has happened. Anyway, we had called out this re-rating, I mean, last year.
Yeah, anyone who's following MC Pro would know.
So there's one stock which is in the mid-market, which we have recommended this time, because, you know, the room rates, the occupancy are all going through the roof. And again, this company has got an asset-light model. So they can expand, and there is an expansion plan, you know, which is solid, because the sector is benefiting because of a demand-supply mismatch. And so the guys who are ready with their expansion, they are going to reap the benefits, because as anyone who is traveling would know what kind of craze is there. You won't get a hotel booking anywhere in any major.
Especially in the last quarter of the year, it's crazy.
Not only last quarter, I mean, it's now becoming a 12 months holiday season, you know, unlike previously when there were 3-4 selected holiday seasons.
True.
So this particular company still has a very long way to go. Their margins have you know, improved significantly, and they are still at a discount to some of the peers, some of the mid-tier peers, so which makes us pretty confident about the stock. In addition, we have a whole lot of things. We have financials, we have a wealth manager, because we think that wealth management is one space which has a very, very secular run for a country like India, and this wealth manager has a solid annuity model. So earnings visibility is quite high. And then we have one of the largest private sector banks which has fallen out of favor, but our banking analyst is very, very confident that, you know, there is still a long growth highway and it will come back. So yeah, pretty interesting set of 9 stocks.
So 9 different Navratnas you have picked out.
Absolutely.
All right, just to wrap up the conversation, this is of course over and above what we spoke about the Diwali picks. How are you seeing the year come to an end? I mean, do you guys have any target for year end for the benchmark indices, or any kind of number or any kind of indication that you're working with?
Yeah, I think I have mentioned to you at the start of the year that when we were doing again a crystal gaze for the year during the time of the onset of the Ukraine war, that we are seeing a range bound market.
And that's exactly
exactly what it is. But I mean, I initially expected the markets to be between 15.5 to 18.5. Now I would stand corrected and say the markets should be in the range of 15 to 18. That is the range where the market is going to hover till such time there is clarity. I mean, I'm not just putting it as calendar year end 2022. Till the dust settles, this is going to be the market. So trading this market is not easy, but if you know that these are the stocks that you want to buy it at the lower end of the market, because you will always get a bad day.
Yeah, definitely. We've seen so many for the year.
You will always get a bad day. You will always get a bad day.
And if you need more help, guys, you know where to come. Moneycontrol Pro is your destination, where you can find all kinds of analysis on the markets and a host of stocks, including the much awaited and much coveted Navratna picks. On that note, we're going to wrap it up for today. Madhu, thank you so much for taking time out and joining us. We wish you a very happy season's greetings and Diwali.
I'm wishing you and everyone a very happy Diwali and a very
all our viewers as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Happy Diwali.
Guys.